So late last night, Blake Lively files another ridiculous sanctions motion. At this point, I've forgotten how many sanctions motions she's even filed. This, I believe, is the second one in a week. It may have been a little bit over a week since the last one, but she had filed for sanctions based on evidence spoliation, saying that the Wayfarer parties either got rid of or failed to preserve evidence in response to a preservation demand. She then tried to claim that her 17-point list of demands was somehow a demand for preservation that was sent back in November 2023, long before any lawsuit ever happened. That was not actually any sort of notice of a potential lawsuit. It wasn't her saying, hey, you need to save your communications because I might sue you. And she herself, through Michael Gottlieb, has said that she sent her initial preservation demands on December 20th, 2024, over a year later. And yet she's asking for severe sanctions against the Wayfarer parties. But this new one that she filed last night is bizarre. It involves a birthing video from Jamey Heath and his wife when their child was born in an at-home water birth. Now, if you remember, Blake Lively in her complaint alleged that they somehow showed her pornography when she was shown an image of that, which is a pretty odd way to describe a home birth, given in the snapshot we could see, no genitalia were showing and there was a baby in plain sight. Now, I don't know why she considers that to be pornographic, but she's now demanding to see more footage than she was ever shown of Jamey Heath's naked wife. So we'll go over what she wrote to the judge and what she's asking for in terms of sanctions against Jamey Heath and her demands to see more footage of his nude wife. But I want to revisit what the Wayfarer parties have alleged to have actually happened. We're going to read this part of their first amended complaint. Lively continued with an outrageous and knowingly false suggestion that she was shown pornography or naked images of Heath's wife on set. This allegation knowingly and maliciously misrepresents an instance when, in connection with the birthing scene in the film, Heath, at the director's request, attempted to show Lively a video that demonstrated the director's vision for the scene. This video, which ultimately was not shown to Lively, even though she stated she'd like to see it later as she was eating, is by all accounts beautiful. Since Lively wanted to see it later, what she saw was the first image at the start of the video, which shows Heath's wife, himself, and their baby after his wife gave birth at home, a natural birth or home birth. To characterize this image that captures such a beautiful moment with their newborn baby, shared with the consent of his wife for purposes of the film, as a naked photo or worse, porn, is deplorable. Nonetheless, Lively did not object and asked to see the video after she ate, having managed to convince the director to write and shoot the scene according to her specifications. Now here's the image in question. To describe this as pornography is intentionally misleading. So Wayfarer produced about 3 minutes of footage related to this still image. In a heavily redacted email from Blake's lawyers to Jamey and Justin's lawyers, they wrote, "We write regarding Mr. Heath's failure to produce complete footage of the birthing video alleged in Miss Lively's second amended complaint, despite the agreement to do so in the Wayfarer defendant's opposition to Miss Lively's omnibus motion to compel, and despite the court's August 27th order requiring the same." Now, like I said, they didn't actually compel the Wayfarer parties to produce complete footage of the birthing video. They were compelled to produce footage related to the still image in the Wayfarer complaint, which has since been dismissed. Here was Wayfarer's response. It says, "Counsel, the court ordered the Wayfarer parties to produce documents identified in the Wayfarer parties' amended complaint, including the birth video. The video described in the Wayfarer parties' amended complaint shows Heath's wife, himself, and their baby after his wife gave birth at home. The video that was, it's unfortunately redacted, shown to Miss Lively was produced more than a month and a half ago. The Wayfarer parties have fully complied with the court's order with respect to the video. No other footage of Mr. Heath's family is responsive to any request for production Lively has propounded, and accordingly, none will be produced." So she wants not only the footage of their home birth that she alleges she was shown, she wants all footage related to Jamey and Natasha's home birth, because now after discovery has been closed and they failed to file any motion to compel to that effect, which would still be gross, she's saying, well, that's not the footage that I remember. Now, mind you, I don't think that she could possibly remember, because the Wayfarer parties said, and I tend to fall on the side of the Wayfarer parties, she only saw 1 second, which is basically just that still image. You can't get much of anything out of 1 second. The entire interaction between Jamey Heath and Blake Lively lasted 30 seconds or less. So here's the letter that they wrote last night. Dear Judge Lyman, Ms. Lively respectfully moves the court to sanction defendant Jamey Heath, pursuant to Rule 37 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, for failure to comply with the court's August 27th order compelling the production of certain materials. The video Mr. Heath showed Ms. Lively on the set of the film of his fully nude wife during the birth of their child during an at-home birth, without warning or consent. To date, Mr. Heath has produced only a 3-minute video excerpt depicting, and then of course it's redacted. Ms. Lively has consistently disputed that the video that Mr. Heath produced pursuant to the order compelling production was the video that he showed her on the set of the film. After his counsel insisted for weeks they were not aware of any other video, Mr. Heath recently revealed at his deposition that, and it's redacted again. So if I have to kind of fill in the blanks here with just my speculation, or this is just what I think with this context, I would say that they are probably saying there is only a 3-minute video excerpt showing him, his wife, and his baby, and they're not aware of any other video of that part of the home birth. Any other videos of this man's naked wife are irrelevant to claims in this case. And Blake Lively, who was so disturbed by a home birth photo that she called it pornography, for some reason wants to see all of that. That's a huge invasion of her privacy. She is not a party to this case, but God knows Blake Lively only cares about women's rights and privacy when it comes to her own. It is plainly improper for Mr. Heath to now contend that Miss Lively, this court, and the jury must accept his word that the small excerpt is the same video he showed her on set, when it does not comport whatsoever with her memory, and by which Miss Lively could challenge his assertion. You know, some of that's redacted. I can't tell you what's there, but I can tell you that Miss Lively's recollection of events and judgment seem to be kind of interesting. I mean, she wanted my bank account for fuck's sake, as if that was some sort of evidence, because I don't like her. By knowingly and willfully withholding, and then it's redacted. They're trying to say there's more video, though. I'm pretty sure that's what that says. Miss Lively was deprived of the opportunity to fully question Mr. Heath on this topic at his deposition, and has therefore been prejudiced. No. You had the opportunity to fully question him on the video that was produced in Discovery, which is all that you were ever shown. 1 second of that. Or a still image. Accordingly, Rule 37 sanctions are warranted that 1, order Mr. Heath to produce all video footage depicting the birth video within 3 days of the court's order, and 2, precluding Mr. Heath from offering any evidence, including written or oral testimony, on the topic of his showing the birth video or any portion thereof to Miss Lively. So they're saying that Wayfarer needs to produce everything relating to her claims about the birth video in the CRD complaint, not the Wayfarer complaint. In the CRD complaint, she alleges that they showed her a video of a fully nude woman with her legs spread apart. Miss Lively thought he was showing her pornography and stopped him. Mr. Heath explained that the video was his wife giving birth. Miss Lively was alarmed and asked Mr. Heath if his wife knew he was sharing the video, to which he replied she isn't weird about this stuff, as if Miss Lively was weird for not welcoming it. Okay, that's a total assumption on Miss Lively's part, saying that, you know, she was weird for not welcoming it. Again, we saw a still of the video in question. She fails to mention here that there was a baby present. Why are you looking at a baby and thinking, oh, that's porn? So they're saying in Wayfarer's complaint that Heath admitted to showing her a video from the child's home birth. So they admitted to what? A still frame or 1 second of the video? And that it demonstrated Mr. Baldoni's vision for the birthing scene. Okay. Well, that was a big scene in the movie. On August 22nd, the Wayfarer defendants produced a 3-minute and 29-second video that shows, and then of course it's redacted, a snapshot of which the Wayfarer defendants included in an attachment to their publicly filed and now dismissed complaint. On September 24th, counsel for Miss Lively conferred with counsel for Wayfarer, explaining that the produced video excerpt reflected only a few minutes of footage rather than, and it's redacted, and does not reflect the portion of the video that Mr. Heath showed Miss Lively while she was on the set of the film, and that's based on her suddenly thinking that that's not what she remembers. Opposing counsel said they had no reason to believe that the produced video excerpt was not what Mr. Heath showed Miss Lively, and they were not willing to engage in further conferral absent additional information. And that's pretty reasonable. You're not just going to show this heinous asshole and a bunch of her attorneys naked videos of your wife that aren't relevant to the case. The court should exercise its broad discretion to sanction Mr. Heath, pursuant to Rule 37, for failing to obey the order compelling production. Specifically, the court should, 1, order Mr. Heath to produce all video footage depicting the birth video, including but not limited to all versions that show the delivery within 3 days of the court's order, She didn't actually see the delivery. Like even the beginning of the snapshot that we saw, you can see that they're like holding the baby. The baby has been born. This is gross. Such a gross invasion of privacy. And 2, preclude Mr. Heath from offering any evidence, including written or oral testimony on the topic of his showing the birth video to Miss Lively. Court may enter sanction prohibiting the disobedient party from supporting or opposing designated claims or defenses, or from introducing designated matters and evidence. And she's going to keep doing this, like filing sanctions motions, asking for them not to be able to give certain evidence or testify to certain things, because she has nothing, in my opinion. Preclusion is warranted because Mr. Heath's refusal to produce all responsive footage has deprived Miss Lively of key evidence needed to litigate a contested issue in advance of his deposition. So you got all the responsive footage. You want more than that, and that is not your right. Mr. Heath's failure to comply materially limited Miss Lively's ability to probe Mr. Heath's recollection and testimony about the birth video at his deposition. I don't think it's Mr. Heath's recollection that seems to be the problem here. If Mr. Heath's non-compliance stands, he will have successfully and unfairly deprived Miss Lively from showing the jury the part of the footage she recalls Mr. Heath showing her on set. In the footnote here, it says, to the extent Mr. Heath still refuses to produce all versions of the video, Miss Lively reserves the right to seek more severe sanctions, including an order directing that certain designated facts be taken as established for purposes of the action. I look forward to seeing how they respond to this, but what I just read is gross. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. We're expecting Jen Abel's amended claims against Stephanie Jones tonight, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.